Hey y'all, I hope you're enjoying these videos that we've been doing for you on Loom. And I'm going to take a few minutes to talk to you today about Skyslope. And what Skyslope is our transaction management system. Um, all of our fully executed documents need to go in there on the buy side, on the sell side. When you take a listing, you have them fully executed. They'll go in there and you'll add the listing. Skyslope is really an easy platform. It is a cloud-based platform, easy platform to figure out. The great part about Skyslope is many things, but one of the things is, hey, you load it up in there, you need something, you're a different spot, you can log in, find it, send it to your clients. One of the things I often use it for, and we can talk about this more in a minute, is I'll have clients reach out to me and say, hey Josh, you know what? I need this or that form for my lender, for my 401k so I can pull money out of it, or I need my home warranty. Can you send it to me? And I don't have to go searching in their file. I don't have to go searching through emails. I go into Skyslope and everything is there for me. So it is a great asset, great tool, and it's also where and how we will end up getting paid for the work, because as you'll see, everything has to go green in order for us to get our commission check upon the close of escrow. So I'm just adding a login page here just so that you can see it. You come to the basic login page. Our tech support can help you get set up for that if needed, and answer any questions with that. Once you have your login information, you're going to click login, and it'll log you into Skyslope, your transaction management system. And you'll see a front page that looks a little bit like this. And you guys are getting to peer into a little bit of my life. September's been good to me. So just what's going on in my world. And here is where you manage everything. So if you're looking at things that are active, like listings that are active, or a pending listing closed this month, you can go right here. And then it's got all of these guys here that will help you get started in creating a transaction, creating a listing. Creating a transaction would be a purchase of a buyer, managing the listings or managing the transactions. And then also it has the electronic signature there that you can click on and be able to send documents for people to sign electronically. It also has your incomplete checklist. You can go in and say, hey, what's not complete? Down here on the left corner, you can look for canceled contracts. This is where you would go to access the archive. So you've closed the file, everything's good. It was 6 months, it was 2 years, 4 years ago. You can click on Access Archives and go ahead and log in, find that thing that you need and send it away. One of the things that I do oftentimes in January is I go through all of my archives and I send the final settlement statement from each transaction to all of my deals. So whether it's a buy or a sell, I'll send that to them with a nice note that says, hey, here's your final settlement statement. Your tax person will want this as you're getting ready to do your taxes. If you need anything else, please never hesitate to reach out. It's just another touch, a way to stay in contact with our clients and providing remarkable service. We want people to come back to us time and time again, so we need to be sure to be people that are providing that remarkable service to them. Tasks and reminders, if you use those, and working documents. So this is kind of like the home page to our transaction management system. As you can see, there's a couple transactions that were scheduled to close this month. So this is the home page. This is where we all get started. This is where everything happens. You can go through and you can say, oh, what do I have left to close this month? And you can click on it, and you're going to, you click on it, and you can see we have Olive and Bartley that are supposed to close this month, and go through and just check everything out. So if I click on the PMZ, it takes me back to that home page again, calculates everything. From here, just kind of setting it up. And to be honest with you, I don't want to go through and set a whole file up, because then we have to go through the process of canceling. It's kind of a big deal. But I want to show you a little bit about how you set up a transaction. So what you will do is you'll go in and you'll hit manage transactions. You're going to put a purchase in there and you'll just say create transaction. You put in the street address and then you click in and you put in every one of the asterisks boxes you would put in so that it brings great congruency. You would be putting in, if it's a, you put in the address and you put in the MLS number, you add in the street number and all the other information there. What's the commission? What year was the house built? All that stuff you go ahead and just add in here. And then once you've added it all in, you would go next and there'd be more pop up with more boxes. And you just gather that information the first time really as you go so that you have all of the information that you need in there. Just a great little system. And once you've got all the information that's in there to get it started, it says, okay, create transaction. And you just click on the link and it goes. On the listing side, the same thing happens. You would go into manage listings, you'd create a listing, and here again, our lovely assistant, Sky, we'll call her, walks us through the process of creating the listing. So you click on it, the first thing you do was enter the address, and then it gives you options for it. This is where I used to live, right there, and then you could just go, let's go, because the property was seen, and you get started with entering the listing. To enter the listing and to get things started in Skyslope, you need to have those basic forms filled out. You need to have the residential listing agreement. You need to have the affiliated agreement signed, the wire fraud advisory signed, your profile, property profile sheet, of course your privacy page, and one that I'm missing. So you got to have those pages so you can upload them into Skyslope to get everything started. So that's how you would go ahead and make that happen. I'm going to get out of here. But because where I want us to spend our time is really talking about how do I manage my transactions within here. So once you get it created, the listing created, it goes into your active spot here. These are your active listings that you might have that are all listed here. Some of these I have are on hold. They're not happening. Some of them these right here are my 3 active listings that are live right now, and so I'm working those listings. So these are your listings. If we come back to the main page, you can go to the pendings. Now this is going to show all of my listings, but also all of my purchases. So this is normally where I would go to manage my transaction in order to get it going. And you can see that when you're in this transaction sheet, you can also hit create transaction from here and it'll walk you through all of those steps. So the goal is when you're pending, so you have the buyer or your listing goes pending, meaning you have a buyer for it, not you necessarily, but another agent brings you a buyer, you get it into that pending status. Once it's in this pending status, what you're trying to do and you're working to do is you want to go green. And by going green is everything is filled in and ready to go. So I want to look at one of these files that might not be green yet. I have this one on Breckenridge. Again, you have all the information about the property here at the top. You can look at your transaction summary, and if you have to cancel, you would press cancel transaction. Then you've got to submit the cancellation instructions and all that stuff. The top just gives you, this is all those things that you would have filled in, as you got started. This transaction sheet says who's the agent, what's the MLS number, the street number. It's just all the information that you've inputted in. The next one is contacts. So these are the people that are involved with the transaction. So you have the seller, what's the seller's name? You have the purchaser, you have title and escrow, agent representing the other side. So you have all these different, who's the lender on the property, home warranty company, and then any other miscellaneous. So those are the contacts. So you always have the information there in Skyslope in case you need to connect with somebody. Up here at the top, I don't want to skip this, it shows what your acceptance date is, what your escrow date is, and what your prospective close of escrow date is. All of these things are right here ready to go. And then you of course have your sales price, who the buyer is, all that information is there. down below, excuse me. So then on your, I showed you the contacts already. Then you see the commission. So what is the commission split on it? Well, the price is 400, 2.5 commission. That's $10,000 in commission. Is this a personal deal? No, it's not a personal deal. It's a normal deal. So all that stuff is there. You can include that information. You have to fill out any information that has the red asterisk by it, of course. This is the checklist, and this is what I'm talking about. Here is where you're working to see everything go green. All right, we've got a lot of green in there right now. We're missing just 2 things, so I didn't pick a very good file. Or excuse me, 3 things. We're missing the copy of the deposit check, and then the commission instructions, which they took it directly to title, so we don't have one. The commission instructions and the office closing sheet. That's all that we're missing on this transaction. Let's see if we can find a better one to kind of take a look at. One that might have a little bit of extra stuff that needs to happen to it. Let's look up this one on Wild Ivy. So we got a lot of red, and this is because we don't have our disclosures back from the buyer yet. And so you see a lot where it says if applicable or required. Of course, all the required things we have to attach. All of the, there are things that if they're applicable, we have to attach. So we just have to make sure that we're getting these things green. And as you go along, you might have other ones that pop up because you clicked the button or things started happening to make it work. The way that you get documents in here is you can either come here and say attach, right? This is my agent visual inspection, and upload documents right there. Or the way that I often do it, if I do it, is up here I go to documents. And then from documents I say upload. So you would have to have them saved on your computer. Now you have 2 options here on how to get them into this Skyslope spot. You can either upload it here, or you can email documents right here to the Skyslope generated email address. Once it's there, it'll go into the document list or into the log, and then you can assign it to the correct spot. A lot of times what I do is I upload docs. So I've scanned it into my computer, or it was an email, and I save the document to a specific file. And I'll just show you this really quick. For all of my documents, I have their own folder. So I would come down and I would just save it into the Wild Ivy folder here. And once it's in the Wild Ivy folder, then I can upload it into this document, my Wild Ivy transaction management. So from here I could just say upload, and I can go then, like I said, to that file, like Wild Ivy, and I could go into where we're working, and I can go to the signed RPA. Let's just say that. And I can say upload. And you can see right here that it's working on uploading the file into here, and now it's uploaded. So the cool thing is once it's uploaded, then you can assign it to the right checkbox. So you would say, I want to split it because there's multiple documents that go into multiple spots within here. So right here it's the agency disclosure. You can probably barely see it. It says disclosures regarding real estate relationship. So I would just say agency, and it's already green, so I don't need to split it there. But just for kicks, I'm going to do this, and then I'm not going to split and assign it. So I just say agency. That's those 2 pages there. And then I have my possible representation of one or more buyer or seller. So I'll just start typing in rep. There it is, possible rep. Then I scroll down and I have my wire fraud. So I might start putting in wire fraud. There it is. So I'll just click on that one. And that's wire fraud, scam alert, or car form, either one. And then I come to my RPA. So I would just start putting in purchase agreement and buyer's inspection advisory. So I know that that's 10 pages is my purchase agreement. And then the next page is my buyer inspection advisory right there. So I haven't been saying the pages. So that's 1 to 2, This is page 3 to 3. The wire fraud is page 4 to 4. And then I have my purchase contract is page 5 to page 15. It tells me it's page 15 right there. And then I keep scrolling down and I have my California Consumer Privacy. Let's see if it picks up on the CCP. There it is. And the PMZ affiliated marketing. So that is just page 16. And then I have my PED, coronavirus entry form, right there, is now page 17, 18, 19, and 20. So I'm just going to say to 20. And once I have them all assigned, I'm going to say split and assign. And this program is going to know to throw them all into the right spots on my checklist. So if I hit split and assign, you'd see that happen. And then what would happen on the checklist is all of those would now be in review. So you have the purchase agreement right here. It would be in yellow, which is in review. The counter offer, once I loaded it, would be in review. The agency disclosure would be in review, which is yellow. There's sometimes that our Skyslope, the people that review our Skyslope will put notes into us. Like a lot of times something that's missed is on the purchase agreement. We forget to say who's representing who on page 1 of the purchase agreement. And so they'll say, please load a confirmation of agency disclosure so that we know who's representing who on it. The other thing within Skyslope, that's the basis of Skyslope. You're working to get everything green. Some of these documents, like the office closing sheet, you get that from the office. It's not on car forms. And then the commission demand comes from title and escrow. So you'd have to reach out to them for that. The goal is, again, to get everything green. Once everything's green, then we close escrow and you get paid. The big deal, and I want to share this with you, is don't wait till the last minute to load everything into Skyslope. Once you have it fully executed, put it in there so they can review it early and you're not having to, rush at the end to get it there so you hope you get paid. You know what I'm saying? So work with that one a little bit. So that is Skyslope in a nutshell. The other thing is you can use this digital signature, DigiSign to sign documents. You do it the same way. You'd create a new envelope, you upload a document into there, and then you place the signatures where you want it, and you send it to sign. So that's a quick overview of Skyslope. It's our transaction management system. You have to use this. This is not an option. You have to use it in order to do escrows and to get paid in the end. So have some fun with it. Reach out, have questions. I'll talk with you on Friday to help answer any questions that you might have. Have a great day, and don't forget to look at all the resources that PMZ has. There's a litany of them, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Andy is going to be teaching us a class on Wednesday on working with buyers. I'm looking forward to it. Have a great day. Bye-bye.